Hello everyone, I'm 18 Storm Track meteorologist Austin Haskins. It was a sunny but kind of a windy day on our Monday with some areas seeing wind gusts over 30 miles per hour. Medford even saw a peak wind gust of 39 miles an hour and highs were in the mid to upper 50s, but of course the wind made it feel a little bit cooler. But today though, warmer and less wind. It'll feel warmer today just because we're going to deal with the lighter winds, but air temperatures will be slightly warmer than what we had yesterday. Unfortunately, though, the breezy conditions return after today, and we're going to talk about the latest on those precip chances later this week and into the weekend here as well in just a few minutes. So high pressure to our south today is going to give us a southerly wind. That strong low that was to our north and east yesterday that also brought the cold front in here Sunday evening is gone. So the pressure gradient is relaxing a little bit, which is why the winds will be a little lighter today. This area of low pressure is going to move right over the area heading into tonight. So while we'll get a little bit of a break from the clouds we're seeing this morning as we'll clear things out for a time, the clouds will thicken again later this afternoon into this evening. Any rain with this system is going to stay to our north, as you'll see here on Future Track coming up. We get a break from that wind today, about 5 to 15 miles per hour, but then it picks back up again Wednesday and Thursday. 10 to 20 sustained, gusts of 20 to 30 miles per hour. But as we saw yesterday, those winds could be a little bit higher at times in the morning and afternoon hours. Now, the fire danger risk is in the moderate category across the area. It is high in Taylor County. Of course, we talked a little bit about this yesterday because the National Weather Service put out a special weather statement highlighting the potential for elevated fire weather conditions yesterday. Now, today, I don't think it's going to be as elevated despite the fact that humidity levels will be down closer to 30%. The wind being a little bit lighter today is kind of the biggest key here. But tomorrow, though, that's a different story because the wind picks back up. And with the slightly lower humidity levels expected behind that system, could be down as low as about 25 to 27%. That's when I do think the risk is going to be a little more elevated. So we talked about this yesterday, and I'll say this again. Try to avoid burning of any kind here for the foreseeable future because with these conditions, if a fire were to develop, it has a slightly elevated risk of it spreading rapidly. So let's try to avoid that at all costs. So going to Future Track, again, those clouds around the start of our Tuesday will go away. We'll have a couple of hours where we should see clear to partly cloudy skies before that low pressure moves in and those clouds increase by the end of the day today. Now, you'll see up to the north here, mainly from about Highway 70 north, to Lake Superior. That's where we'll see some showers with this system heading into tonight. Now we'll clear things out a little bit overnight, maybe a few clouds in spots to start our Wednesday, but Wednesday overall is going to be sunny and it will be breezy. And then as we head into Wednesday night into Thursday, the clouds will be on the increase. And if there's one good thing about the forecast for Thursday, despite the fact we're going to have the clouds around and the breezy conditions, we are expected to stay dry. So that is some good news there. Now, there's a small chance we could see a few isolated showers heading into Thursday evening as another cold front passes through, but as you see there, it's not looking very impressive. And of course, the last few, small chances of rain we've had have not been that impressive. And this looks to be kind of a similar case to that once again, as we're going to sit at about 30% coverage. And then we're still in that slight territory as we head into Saturday. And of course, that is going to be kind of and has been a little bit of the buzz on social media here over the last couple of days or so, and likely will be the case here for the rest of the week, and I'll explain that here in a second. But the one thing that is for certain is we are going to likely see the coldest air of the fall season so far heading into the weekend. It's been pretty nice so far, but that will change at least for a short time. Now, the reason that we've been kind of mild as of late is our flow is kind of west to east out of the Pacific, so it's not anything super warm. It's more mild, if anything. But look what happens as we go into Thursday. We're still kind of mild, but then into the weekend, we see a big dip in the jet stream Saturday, and that continues Sunday into Monday, and that is going to bring in some colder air. We're going to see high temperatures by Sunday. Some spots may not even get to freezing on Sunday. We're going to barely get above here in Eau Claire, so it is going to definitely feel a little more like late fall, late November, early December for that. But then as we go beyond that, we do see the pattern maybe kind of shifting back more towards that milder air towards the middle to end of next week. So this colder weather that'll move in for the weekend into early next week doesn't look to be really that harsh, first of all. And second of all, doesn't look to be that long lasting either. But again, you probably have been seeing the buzz on social media that there's a chance for snow this weekend. Now, could it happen? Possibly, because with these colder temperatures, any precipitation could support the possibility of it falling as snow or a rain and snow mix. But again, when you look at this, you can't really trust and hear everything you see, especially when we're talking something that is, still multiple days away, and certainly when you're 7 days or so out, because there are many paths for that forecast to take, but each step depends on the path that it has taken so far. And this system is still kind of over the Pacific Ocean, so there's not a lot of data there to kind of, support at least a little bit on where this thing could track, as it usually is with these systems. And again, despite all the possibilities, a model only gives one solution. Ensembles, if you've heard of that term, what that does is it takes, like if you look at the European or the American GFS model, it'll take all the members of it and you run it, one different way every time, and it'll average it out. And that's sometimes with longer range systems, that's a better way to look at it. It's not the end all be all, but at least you can watch the trends that way, because again, one model only gives one solution, and one small deviation could make a big change in that forecast. So that's why once we get a little bit closer in time, that's when the accuracy and whatnot does get a little bit higher compared to something that we're talking about, 5, 6, 7+ days away. So we will be here to keep you updated. Certainly, I can't rule out maybe some snow, at least in the very light variety this weekend. Probably, I think it'll be warm enough where we'll mix it as rain, but certainly something that we'll be monitoring. Again, the colder temperatures are likely. That is almost certain. But again, the precip chances, that's still a bit of a question at this time. And some solutions have this system missing our area completely, and we don't see anything. So again, that's why those precip chances are low right now, and we'll keep you updated as we go forward in time here this week. Highs across the area today, mid to upper 50s, but some low 60s for many locations. We'll fall back down 30s and lower 40s for tonight. And here's a look at the extended forecast. Again, you can see we're down to 40 degrees on Saturday, 34 on Sunday, with an overnight low Sunday night in the upper teens.